very interesting run in 2027 because it will be for the first time I think the Mount Kenya region is having a new kingpin and a new direction, and we will actually be seeing if they'll be supporting they'll be delivering the 8.4 million votes that Rigathi says in the mountain. But yesterday one Matiang'i was in the region, was actually in Nyeri with a rally, and then I think Rigathi Gachagua was not in the picture, was not even in the rally. So we've seen people like Ngunjiri, the former PA to Gachagua allegedly, claiming that, you see, this is the time for Jubilee. And just to put this in context, we actually are seeing a DCP versus Jubilee tussle. I really don't understand, because some days we saw Kioni with Gachagua, but still it seems that kuna vita baina these two parties. Come 2027, what will happen between these two parties? Because they all want numbers. The number of MPs that Gachagua wants and Jubilee wants are from the same mountain.
First of all, I think you are in a democratic dispensation. And it is said a country like Kenya, which enjoys democracy, it has the freedoms and rights for formation and association of political parties. And therefore, Jubilee and DCP, amongst other political parties, they are all fully under the United Opposition team. Understand? Therefore, this is just like sibling rivalry, which we should not reach so much. But the Popular Party is my party, DCP, which will enjoy 90%, if not 100%, of all the MCAs, of all the senators, of all the women reps, of all the 10 Mount Kenya county governors. So Jubilee is allowed to do their politics, but this should not be so much rivalry, because this is like brothers who are just sharing the same political space, and it is political sibling rivalry. There's no so much beef, and Matiang'i is welcome because he's the deputy party leader of Jubilee, which also forms the United Opposition team that DCP also is a member, a founding member for that fact.
It's us very well. Now let's talk about maybe, do you foresee some kind of zoning? Do you foresee some kind of because you are in the ground as a youth leader, because there's a time that Rigathi Gachagua said that they'll be actually looking within their United Opposition, where the areas that DCP is probing, they'll be supporting a DCP candidate, where Wiper is strong, they'll also be thinking about that. But now, in the Mount Kenya context now, because DCP is quite loud and very prominent in the region, but Jubilee has roots there, and there'll be some kind of the rivalry where the DCP candidate is strong in this region, but you see, Jubilee also wants the same seat. So what will happen to actually aspirants now? Just let's talk about the aspirants levels.
At the aspirants level, what I'm foreseeing, the only major zoning that shall happen might only be in Nairobi. Ask me why.
Why?
Because Nairobi is a cosmopolitan region. It includes all tribes. And in the United Opposition team, you have Wiper, you have DCP, you have Jubilee, we have DAP Kenya, we have DP for Justin Muturi, we have PLP for our good mother, Excellency Mother Karua. So only maybe Nairobi is where DCP shall forgo their interest. But as much as I know at this moment, we shall go head on with all parties in Mount Kenya, including UDA. And we are not afraid. That thinking and mentality that if Jubilee brings a candidate, DCP also fronts a candidate, that UDA will pitia katikati, that is dead on arrival.
But the UDA, we expected personally, I expected that because of the slippery mountain, UDA will not be having any activities in Mount Kenya. But we are seeing, is it democracy, or do you think that a lot has to be done from the opposition? Now you're coming from the opposition. Is it just democracy? Are the people actually pro-Gachagua in Mount Kenya, or they are plucking the horns out of the dead
What witnessed or experienced is, one, my community are very, very democratic people. And they are also smart. That's why they have formed several governments, past and present. And therefore, the only thing that UDA is doing is bringing handouts. And as my party does severally said, we cannot bury the elephants with its horns. Therefore, they are just reaping from the government that they voted, because it is an unpopular party. That's why they are using handouts. I've seen as recent as Monday, I saw a member of parliament, the outgoing MP, Zaire Janda, giving 1,000 notes to thousands of people. So UDA is basically using our taxes to bribe people, and we shall not accept that. We'll eat their money and still send them home together with Kasongo, the dictator.
But let's talk about let's put this in context. I understand the current dynamics in the ground, but there was Mboere North. Are these people really just plucking the horns out of the elephant, or are these people actually burying it with honor? Because we saw it in Mboere North, we saw it in Mumbuni, the few by-elections that have happened. And then it brings the question, are these people really genuine that, we're just plucking this or we're not supporting it? Maybe we have a silent majority in the mountain.
Mboere North is a very, very complex constituency. And if I can give you a brief history of what I've been, because history is usually passed on.
Yeah.
I am being told that the current DP leader was also defeated by a very minority party when he was being supported by TNA. And also the current CS for public service, I don't know, Geoffrey Ruku, also defeated with the DP party, which he was vying on, and defeated an UDA, which was very popular in 2022. In 2022, UDA was the popular party in Mount Kenya. Therefore, what happened with Wamudende and Karis is because of all state machinery focused basically on that constituency, so that they could depict a picture that the Udaku party is still popular. But I want to give you a scenario of what will happen in 2027 next year, August 9th. Ruto will be focused on winning his re-election for a second term. He won't send any assistant to anyone, including these MPs that you see following him, like Kimani or Machungwa, or Richungwa in Kikuyu, because he will be solely focused. Everyone will be focused on winning his election, and there will be no that massive support from the government. And one thing, the Mount Kenya region, Mount Kenya East included from Embu, Meru, Tharaka Nithi, they are all one-term zone. And that will be demonstrated in how they will vote for the presidential candidate come 2027 general elections. Yeah, so let us not lose the sight of the gazelle of a dashing squirrels. Better not was just a dashing squirrel. And the gazelle, the prize is the presidency. Yes, plus all those MPs who voted for the Punitive Finance Bill of 2024 to go home, and also those who have been supporting Kasongo's policies, which are very harsh economically and socially, they will also follow him to Sugoi. They better start packing soon. Yeah.
So let's talk about Ichungwa. You've actually brought him to the conversation. Let's talk about him. Recently, he held a graduation ceremony where people are where he actually said that there is actually beauty in being accused or even abused, insulted. They were calling him Bibia Ruto. He says, Bimini Bibia Ruto, but I bring you development to your constituency. And he seems to actually still have the majority, the numbers, even after whatever happened in 2024 and whatever sentiments he said. Now, let's talk about 2027. Kikuyu constituencies will be one of the key areas that DCP will be actually, fielding candidates there, and they won't be fielding candidates just for the sake. I think they'll be fielding candidates to take that seat from Ichung'wah, because it's a very strategic seat, and I think the constituency is one of those must get for DCP. As you look at the dynamics, will Ichung'wah really have a big battle? Because some of the aspirants ni kitu watu kama fanya mambo, and they really are not that strong, but he still is relevant even after all that. So looking at that race, how do you foresee it?
From my own assessment, I think devoid of politics, he has performed. In fact, those housing projects, they are almost into completion, and that is development. But there's no need of bringing all those development if people cannot afford basic needs in their daily lives. People are sleeping hungry there. Even if Kimani Ichung'wah is the majority leader, is only enjoying those state privileges and state legis as an individual. And I think the people of Kikuyu are very wise, and they will know where the mountain is, because we must punish all the traitors that supported regarding Gachagua'S impeachment, and also who are at the forefront of supporting punitive policies like the finance bill of 2024, which led to massive bloodshed of Gen Zs. Myself included, we are all on the street. I also remember we were with you in the streets. Therefore, that's a clarion call to send such leaders home, so that it be a lesson to future leadership that regardless of government supporting you, you must always stand with the people who elected you to those positions. Yeah, thank you.